Okay, guys, looks like we are back live. Hopefully, we don't have audio problems anymore. And like I said, guys, what we are going to be doing here is we are going to be trying to live stream after every trade has happened, trying to get y'all my instant reactions, trying to get y'all my instant analysis, players that we should be buying, players that we should be selling, and just the overall impact that we are going to see from the trades. And in the last live stream, at the end, I asked y'all, hey, what trade y'all want us to talk about next? And overwhelmingly, y'all said Norman Powell. So I think we're going to be doing Norman Powell in this live stream, and we are going to be doing Aaron Gordon in the next. But anyway, let me pull up the live chat here real quick to make sure if we have any questions coming in, we are going to be able to answer those. Let me also pull this up on my phone to make sure that we aren't having any problems with the audio. Also, pulling up on the phone, you got to drop a like as well. Okay, perfect. The audio sounds good. Let's dive into this. And this trade between the Raptors and the Blazers was Norman Powell for Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood. And I know a lot of people were coming out and saying, oh my God, the Raptors got robbed. Norman Powell is by far and away the best piece in this deal. And if we were just talking about pure player talent, yeah, obviously. I mean, you're looking at Norman Powell so far and what he has done in 2021 as well as 2020 and the constant progression he has been able to make. Not only have we seen the minutes go up, not only have we seen the volume go up, but what you really see a lot with these players that start off as low volume options in their offense, and whenever they get those more minutes, is you see the efficiency kind of drop. You see the efficiency take a dive as the volume increases. But that's not what happened with Norman Powell. Norman Powell has actually been fantastic in maintaining his efficiency over the past few years as his overall volume has gone up. So he's a player that is going to add a ton to the Blazers. Now the Blazers, you're looking at them and you're going, okay, in the West, LA is kind of falling apart with the uncertainty around both Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You go, the Blazers, we're really struggling with injuries so far this season with losing both CJ McCollum, and we understand that Nurkic was also gone for a significant amount of time. I think Nurkic should come back very soon, though. And we're going, okay, Damian Lillard was able to single-handedly keep this team afloat, and we were able to see some more role players, more developmental guys get minutes and kind of progressing, get ready to be able to play in certain situations. And now they are adding back CJ McCollum. I believe he came back last week. And now they're going to be getting Nurkic back. And Norman Powell is a massive, massive upgrade with what they currently had at that position in Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood. So yes, this is fantastic for the Blazers. I think the Blazers now actually become title contenders, as crazy as that sounds. But we understand this is a team that's always kind of in the mix, and they are always just a few pieces away. I think Norman Powell and the scoring production that he may be able to provide is just going to be another piece that this team can rely on once they get to the playoffs. And I will say, the one concern that I have for this Blazers team is the fact that Damian Lillard has had an incredibly high usage rate, and this team has had to ask Damian Lillard to do almost everything based on the fact that they really were limited in the options that they had for the majority of the season. So I think what we are going to see is I think we are going to end up seeing Damian Lillard kind of take a step back and let CJ McCollum, let Norman Powell kind of carry the workload through the rest of the regular season. Now, obviously, Damian Lillard is going to be Lillard, and he will still be elite. He will still be playing a significant amount of minutes. But I think that what we have seen so far is we've seen him kind of be Russell Westbrook back in his triple-double seasons, where he is taking a very bad team to being in the mix just based off the fact that he is going 100% every single play, every single day. And we know that that is not sustainable. We know that that is not a recipe for success. So I am projecting what we are going to probably see now that we have some more players on this team that can score, some more players on this team that can generate offense. I think possibly Damian Lillard kind of takes a little bit of a back seat. I don't want to say that entirely, just he's not going to be bringing the ball down the court every single time. He's not going to be generating the offensive production for this team every single possession. So Norman Powell, I think, it gives a significant edge in allowing Damian Lillard to kind of take his foot off the gas slightly until we get to the playoffs. And here with Powell, I think that it's clearly a situation where the Raptors just didn't want to pay him long term. I believe he had a player option that he was most likely going to decline based on his recent play, and he was most likely going to demand that very, very lucrative contract where this Raptors team probably isn't in a position where they can be extremely competitive early on. So what we are going to end up seeing with Norman Powell is we are going to end up seeing him just kind of move into a pure scoring role for the Blazers. I like this role. We know that he was really giving you no rebounds. He was giving you no assists in Toronto already. He's going to be spacing the floor. He's going to be knocking down shots, which is what they need him to do. He's averaged 20 points so far this year, and we know that he has definitely heated up later on in the season compared to at the very, very beginning. So yes, Norman Powell, going to love this for him. And also Chris Boucher, this is also going to be a massive bump for him, who should begin to see more field goal attempts and possibly an opportunity for a little more assists in the Raptors offense, where he's going to be having more minutes. He's already been a player that when he has had opportunity has been very effective, and he has been exciting. But just the amount of talent that has been in Toronto has limited the fact that he has not been able to get on the court significantly every single night. So Chris Boucher is going to be a player that we want to get excited about. And I know a lot of people want to say, but what about Gary Trent Jr.? What about Rodney Hood? I mean, if you were looking at Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood, I mean, they have been very, very poor. I mean, they are literally just a poor man's version of Norman Powell, where Gary Trent Jr. so far this season has played 31 minutes a game. Obviously, a player that you're not going to be getting any rebounds from, any assists from, but at the same time, you are going to be getting 15 points a game, but the efficiency is nowhere near a Norman Powell. So it's not a player that's going to be that instant impact for the Raptors. I really don't have much interest in him in fantasy basketball. Rodney Hood was only playing 20 minutes a game. Don't think that he is going to make any type of impact in Toronto/Tampa Bay, whatever you want to call it. So please, 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 be just completely overlooking that side of the deal. The only significant impact here we're going to see is Norman Powell to the Blazers is, I want to say, probably going to hurt everybody involved, because the minutes he's going to be taking, the amount of shots that he's going to be taking as well. It's not a good thing for CJ McCollum, not a good thing for Damian Lillard. Obviously, it's a great thing for them in real life NBA terms, just fantasy, not going to be so because of the volume. But anyway, let me go through and let me check the general chat, see if we have any questions. I want to thank everybody who has came out. I want to thank everybody who has decided to drop a like on the live stream. It helps us out a ton. Okay, so let's go through, and a bunch of people are asking us, does Wendell Carter's value go up 8-man points league? Yes, I talked about that in the last video. We are a little bit more excited about Wendell Carter. Okay, so now let's go through and let's see. Okay, guys, I already talked about that Vucevic trade in the last video. Please go check that out on the channel. What we are doing here is we are going to be focusing in on one trade at a time. That way it's easy for people to go through and categorize it. And this one is going to be Norman Powell. So please keep the questions for that. So yeah, Zach coming in says more shots for Chris. 100%. I completely agree with that, my dude. Okay, so now let's go through, and Mitchell is asking us, what should we be doing with Norman Powell in fantasy basketball? And honestly, it's definitely going to depend on what we end up seeing the market do. If we see Norman Powell's price remain the same, if we possibly see him get a small uptick in value, I think there we just kind of look to sell high, because I am worried that the shot attempts aren't going to be there. And we know with Norman Powell, he's not necessarily a player that's going to be able to overcome a lack of field goal attempts, because he's a scoring option first. So if you are not going to have the scoring, I think what we are going to end up seeing instead is we are going to see a player that has a dip in volume with, he has a dip in volume with no rebounds, no assists. So I'll say in a category format, I guess you could hold. In a points league format where volume is king, there I think we look to sell. Okay, so now let's go through, and we have someone asking, what about the Fred VanVleet value? Here, I think with Fred VanVleet, right now, obviously, we're going to have to sit here and watch what happens with Kyle Lowry. I think now that Norman Powell is traded, I think it would be crazy not to see the Raptors move on from Kyle Lowry, because this is a player that is going to be up for a new deal this offseason, and I think that it's going to make the most sense for everybody involved for them to move him before the deadline. So yeah, I think Fred VanVleet, I made a video this morning where I went through my buy lows for fantasy basketball. I did not get a chance to upload it before all these deals happened, so I'm probably just going to have to take that time and energy in that video and throw it in the garbage and just focus in on live streaming these instant reactions to these trades. So Fred VanVleet, I actually really like him, especially in point league formats. Now in category formats, I guess you can say, hey, his field goal percentage was already very bad. It's probably going to get a little bit worse with defenses being able to key in on him because there's really nobody else involved. So I'll say Fred VanVleet, going to be a massive, massive trade target for myself in points leagues format category. I think we can stay away a little bit. Okay. So now let's go through, and I see Carl asking, should I be worried about Jaylen Brown with Fournier there now in a points league? We talked about that trade in the video that was uploaded on the channel just about 20 minutes ago. Go to that video, and you should be able to find that information. I want to keep it, just want to keep it here. Okay, so now let's go through and see if we have any other questions regarding this trade. If not, we're probably going to end this live stream, and I'll be jumping on a new live stream where we talk about the Aaron Gordon deal, because that's another deal with massive implications. But thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for dropping likes, subscribing to the channel. I see that we are closing in on 20 likes for this live stream, so about half the people watching the live stream decided to leave a like. Thank you. That means a ton. And yeah, let me end this live stream, and I'll be out with the new one in about 5 minutes.